What's up guys, welcome back from the YgoPro duel video. New support for Gimmick puppets. Who would have expected this one, right? Announced earlier today, so let's try it out. It's already up on YgoPro. Anyway, this new, it's a new Exceed monster. It's a rank 4 Exceed, but again, the archetype still lacks like a very solid or a much better, you know, better standards, like a better rank 8 Exceed, for example, right? They recently got a Link monster, again a superb Link monster, but well, very similar to this Link monster, or this new Exceed monster, is that both this new Gimmick puppet Link and Exceed monster do have like a lot of restrictions, as in as soon as you use this Gimmick puppet Gigantes dolls effect, you know, it's basically a brain control. Detach like 1 or 2, and then take control of opponent's monsters equal to the amount of detached material, so up to 2, right? Again, up until the end of the turn, so your opponent will get the monsters back. But most importantly is that as soon as you use the effect of your Exceed monster, the brain control effect, you first of all cannot declare an attack for the rest of the turn only with Exceed monsters. But the most important restriction is that, again, as soon as you use the effect, you cannot special summon monsters unless they are Gimmick puppets. And again, from the point, or at least from the moment of these duels, the card was still glitched, but I'll come back, you know, to that particular, to that particular situation in the next couple of moments, right? It will become clear. But again, very similar to what I mentioned before, is that both the Gimmick puppet Link and the Exceed, they got too many restrictions. And as you see here, I'm combining them with Orcust, not because, well, yeah, because, you know, Orcust is, in this format, next to Dangers, a very splashable engine, but not with PKs, not with Phantom Knights, for the most obvious reason is that, you know, by the time we might get these cards, the Phantom Knight engine might get hit, and, you know, not main deck Orcust with Phantom Knight to get something different. But the Orcust engine, because of a couple of reasons, and machines, and as you know, the Gimmick puppet monster needs, it's generic, so it only needs 2 machine monsters. I'm looking at Lefty and Righty Driver, for example. I'm looking at the Orcust monsters. You know, things go together, and of course, the boss monster of Orcust is a rank 8 machine type, I believe, but yeah, indeed, most importantly also a rank 8. Again, works very well with the Gimmick puppet archetype. A couple of, you know, quote-unquote, like, they might be semi-staple Gimmick puppet monsters are not in the main deck. You know, there is like that level 8 one that can special summon itself from the graveyard. That might be just a one-off. I'm not playing the Armageddon Knight, I believe it's called Scissors, not sure about the correct name. But it only works upon normal summon, and that's not really that fantastic. It's not really, you know, it's not really an Armageddon Knight, right? But in this situation, I do like, what is it called, Barion's Force. It gives you, well, access to very powerful Exceeds. I like that, right? It gives this deck something different. Again, Climax here, because of, you know, the Orcust engine, does support the deck quite well, of course. But again, as I mentioned before, things go very well together. This is the second game, again, going first, but it feels more comfortable, I guess, going second, especially, you know, because of Gimmick puppets and the Nightmare engine. Dangers, they can definitely go second. Just destroy your opponent's back rows using the Nightmare engine, the Danger engine, get rid of their advantage, get rid of their back rows, and then set up your, you know, your field, right? Since again, going first, this is not really the PK engine going for Rusty Bardish, you know, the standard Orcust PK Danger plays, and as you saw, is going first. You can end like with a very awkward board of only your Chimera Link monster, or maybe like a phase up Dingrisu, but that's basically it. The Gimmick puppet archetype lacks like a good solid boss monster to, let's say, negate something from your opponent or prevent your opponent from doing something, right? You know, 2018, 2019 standards of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So hopefully they might get something like that in the near future, or at least a new rank 8 Exceed, a good one. Since that's something that they definitely lack, right? I'm relying a bit too much on Dingrisu here in most situations. Here, I think I thought I was like, okay, I should have this game in the bag, I should be in a very solid position, but I completely overlooked my own life points here. So normal summoned, I'm not sure about the name. You know, the level 4 that gives you the extra normal summon or special summon from a Gimmick Puppet from your hand. Going for the rank 8 exceed, but I was like, well, I overlooked my life points. And yeah, even though the field spell using the monster effect during my opponent's turn doesn't matter, right? Again, a good rank 8 exceed for Gimmick Puppets could potentially have solved this. You know, the same for Titanic Galaxy. You can only attack that one, for example, or whatever, right? Can be anything. Anyway, so going second against ABCs. He's going first, he's going for the obvious Beller. I guess that's fine, you know, dangers can definitely help plowing through his fields, even though I can't use my graveyard effects here. But getting those extra draws, there is a Baryon's Force, it's fine. Using Cerberus to force out the ABC Dragon Buster, discarding the Ash Blossom. I guess that's fine, you know, using the Call by the Grave on ABC Dragon Buster, so I'm still alive in the duel. If he was able to tag out for for the 3 A, B, and C monsters, that was probably what it would have been game, right? I'm thinking about using the new Nobleman as well. You know, I've got the name. The new Nobleman that targets something from your own deck and then negate the effects for the whole turn. Also excellent against something like hand traps. Anyway, Boral Sword again seemed like the most appropriate card here, somewhat sacrificing the other Gimmick Puppet here in my graveyard. So again, yeah, leave me with not really too many options for next turn, but I think I had to attack over my opponent's monsters, dealing some extra damage in the process, and there is of course the potential protection effect by Boral Sword, right? Normal summon Righty Driver, okay, does have Call by the Grave, not really a powerful Call by the Grave. Again, giving the double attack and go for the Gimmick Puppet. Link monster indeed, search something, basically setting up for next turn. Most of the time, depending on the situation, I'm just searching the level 4 that gives you the extra summon, right? Or yeah, depending, you could also use a Foolish Burial effect, but I already have the level 8 one here in my graveyard. Anyway, another Buster, that's fine, I can just put it in defense position, and now the Camera Doll, you know, the Gimmick Puppet Link monster, is the only monster on my side of the field, so I can potentially special summon something from the hand. Not needed, but going for the Gigantes doll, detach, I believe, doesn't really matter too much, right? Oh, yeah, important, special summon first, that's something I'm not sure if I mentioned yet, right? Again, it's just as soon as you use the effect, you can only special summon Gimmick Puppets for the rest of the turn. So going for the low level danger first, tribute away your Gimmick Puppet rank 4 exceed, so all monsters on your side of the field will become level 8, and then, you know, you can just clean well, make game right with the extra burn damage here in this situation. Anyway, last example, again going second against Salaman Grades. This also was a decent duel, a fine game, again just showcasing the new support rights and the options with the current legal support here. So again, going second, my hand, I see the Orchestrate, yeah, the Orcus Nightmare indeed, a couple of dangers, so that's fine. Bigfoot is, or at least can potentially be good, forcing out potential Roar rights or the Failings in the graveyard. I'm of course going for the Nightmare combos, the Nightmare shenanigans. He also has Roar and Rage, that's the name, you know, the Icarus attack-alike card. That's a problem. I lose my my monster to go for Mermaid, right? But again, we know he still has that Roar set, so that's forced out, I guess, probably a bit too soon, but to each their own. So I can just put Jollity, you know which one I mean, right, on my side of the field. But the Ghost Ogre, though, I still have a follow-up play with the field spell. Maybe I should have gone for the Orcus Climax, the trap cards, giving me some extra protection. That might have been a mistake, but I was like, okay, I still have a couple of follow-up plays. I can go for the Giant, you know, Gimmick Puppet, Exceed, do some damage, some extra burn damage, get rid of his monsters, right, not give him any place. He drops the, you know, the Gazelle, and I was like, okay, I can go for Giant Grinder, but I completely overlooked the restriction that you can only use Giant Grinder during main phase 1. Like, I was like, alright, yeah, it's like a very old school card, but those restrictions, right? I mean, I'm looking at the Link monster for Gimmick Puppets, I'm looking at the Exceed, the new Exceed. Well, we get why. It's a Brain Control, a double Brain Control, a double Snatch Steal, I guess, but still, so many restrictions for an already difficult archetype and a not that strong archetype. And I'm looking at this new Exceed monster, this rank 4 Exceed monster. Okay, it has a very powerful effect, but it's quite restrictive to get it on the field. Again, 2 level 4 Gimmick puppets, that's not really that easy. There are, you know, quite okay options, but still, you have to bank on your opponent not having any interruption, right? And in today's format, that's not really that common, right? Especially with all the hand traps. So again, this is currently on my list. Dangerous gives speed, gives consistency, gives link grinding. Definitely go well with Orcust because of Orcust Nightmare also being able to foolish the Gimmick puppets and of course the machine-oriented archetype, right? Okay, so again, like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.